सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम् अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। हरि ओम। We are all very, very lucky. We can't even imagine to understand how lucky we are. They say, as a result of punyas performed in many, many births, we get this chance. Chance of what? The chance of first being a human being. In addition to being a human being, we are born in this most auspicious place on earth called Bharata Bhumi, the land where everyone revels in light, in the light of knowledge. Bharata, Bha means light and Rata means those who revel. This is a land of light. This is a land of knowledge, and we are lucky that we are born in this land. Imagine this is the same land where Bhagavan Shri Rama was born. This is the same land where Shri Krishna did all his leelas. This is the same land where so many great masters came and blessed the entire world by their presence, by their knowledge and by their nobility. Bharata, if you see, is a very unique nation. Pujya Gurudev, Swami Chinmaya always used to say that India is, or Bharat is 40 nations in one nation. He used to say if you go across the land, there is so much of variety in everything. We have desert also and we have Himalayas also. We have mountains also, mountain ranges also and seashores also. 3 sides we have seashores, but we have so many mountain ranges. All kinds of tropical environments, seasons. All 6 seasons are there in India, which are not there in any other part of the world. All kinds of seasons, all kinds of food, different kinds of clothing. It's a land of miracles. You know, one more interesting fact about this Bharata is its culture. We have such a rich culture. Each nation, each country is known for something, isn't it? You look at the countries in the world today. When you look at, let us say, USA, America, for example, you immediately imagine the economy which is booming, and then the comfort, etc., has reached such a high level. That is what comes to your mind. You look at countries like Japan, then you immediately, what comes to your mind is the kind of development and engineering and, electronics and so much of thing that they have done. Each country has something unique. If you see our land, Bharata, what is unique? What is its USP? The USP of Bharata is its rich heritage and culture, Bharatiya Samskriti. Imagine 2000 years of invasions that have happened in this land and still its culture is intact. 10 years or 5 years of bad government and the entire nation will fall into pieces. We are seeing it in the world today, isn't it? So many countries where the government is not powerful and becomes corrupt, the entire nation falls. You see the countries who have been part of World War I and World War II are still recovering. But 2000 years of continuous invasions on this land, looting the wealth of this country, disrupting the entire the society, but still the culture stands. Imagine after 2000 years of foreign rule, last 75 years we are having independence and we are back on track even to compete with the entire world. Today India is the largest, fastest growing economy in the world. It is top 4. It is in top 4 today. Can you imagine in 75 years, how did we come back? How did we come back that fast? That is because the values and culture that we have preserved through the generations, lots of sacrifice that has happened, that has what has given us this strength, this capacity to go and be the light for the entire world. Even those people who are born in other land, please don't think you are not Indians, you are not Bharatiya. By culture, you are also Bharatiyas. Why? Because you understand the culture, you like this culture, you follow this culture, you are also Bharatiya. This is the beauty of Bharata. At the core of this culture is this philosophy of oneness. Advaita philosophy, what we call. The philosophy of oneness, where the entire Vishwa, entire world, we say is our own family. We don't say that the piece of land which is today called as India and those people who are born in India are only Bharatiyas. No. We say every single person, that person might be from any nationality, any religion, any caste, any creed, doesn't matter. If they accept this culture, if they follow this culture, you belong to this culture. This feeling of oneness, we must have heard this, no? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire earth is my family. Name any one culture or any one religion which says like this. Very hard to find. Where it is said that every single person is my own reflection. India is great because of its culture. Its culture is great because of its base, foundation of philosophy. Now, sometimes what happens, the philosophy is very great, but we don't follow the philosophy. Then what is the point? High values in your mind, but in your action nothing is there. Bharat is actually, fortunate that along with this great philosophy of oneness, of Advaita, we also have traditions. We also have ways, customs by which this philosophy is practiced. Any religion, any culture has these two aspects. The philosophy and the rituals or the customs, the practical aspects of that philosophy. So Bharatiya Samskriti has great foundation of Advaita philosophy and has got unimaginary perfect customs and traditions which have preserved that philosophy, not just preserved but practiced that philosophy. And therefore, even after so many years of invasion, the culture of this land has survived. Bharatiya Samskriti is the oldest living culture of the entire world. There is no other culture in the world which is the oldest and yet being practiced. There have been so many great cultures in the world. Egyptian culture at one point was booming. Chinese culture, they are all great, but are they being practiced now? Indian culture is one such culture which is the oldest living culture in the whole world. How? How did this happen? How did this philosophy and blending of philosophy with the traditions and continuously practice of both these, how did it happen? If we see the history of Bharata, we see that there have been innumerable icons, innumerable masters who have come time and again to revive the culture. The culture has got great philosophical base. The culture has got great way of adopting that philosophy and adapting it into your everyday life. But with the changing times, there needs to be revival of the values, revival of the traditions, revival of the culture. In this land, we have been lucky that we have such icons, such masters coming time and again to revive the nation with the culture and with the righteousness. Now, if we see the history, there have been two kinds of icons in our land. One is the parampara of sadhus, sannyasis, rishis, masters, the spiritual leaders who have come again and revived the culture. We say also, Sada Shiva Samarambham, Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam, Asmad Acharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. The tradition has continued. When we saw that the Vedas etc. are not being understood by many people, they are not remembering it, Bhagavan Vedavyasji came and he revived the whole structure. He changed the whole structure, put it into 4 volumes, gave it for preservation. Again, after many years, when there was again decline of so-called the Vedic way of living, Bhagavan Shankaracharya came again, revived the whole thing, explained it in the terms that people will understand. I am just naming a few masters, but you will see in the history there have been so many masters. There have been so many great saints in different parts of India who have come and revived different kinds of traditions. Bhakti traditions, jnana traditions, karma traditions, so many yoga traditions. They have all done that. Not just in the past, even now it is happening. Even in the last century we had saints like Shri Rama Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, Swami Vivekananda, Puja Gurudev. All of them, what did they do? They revived the culture by making this ancient knowledge palatable and accessible to all the people of that generation. So there have been these masters who have come time and again to revive the land, revive the culture of the land. At the same time, we have also got icons in the form of kings who have done the same job but in a different way. Why? Because knowledge will make sure that philosophy part is taken care. A perfect ruling will make sure that philosophy is being practiced through customs and traditions. We already said every religion, every culture has 2 aspects. One is philosophy, another is the rituals, practice of that philosophy, isn't it? Now you see the Puranas, you see the Itihasas, the lineage of kings is given, who came again and revived. Isn't it? You have Prithu, you have Bharata, you have so many such kings. And even the Puranas, Itihasas are up to certain point. Even after that we have Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka and so many of them. Shivaji Maharaj, till now I am saying. So many of such kings, what did they do? They again revived the entire culture and put again a new system which will be applicable and possible in this generation. One such great icon we are going to talk about today. And he is none other than Bhagavan Sri Rama. There will be hardly anybody who has any connection with Bharata who doesn't know Shri Rama. Bhagavan Shri Rama and Bharata are synonyms. That's why it is, you can't, I was thinking what title should be given to this particular talk. Shall we say Shri Rama, the heart of Bharata? Shall we say Shri Rama, the icon of Bharata? Shall we say Shri Rama is youth icon of Bharata? Whatever you name it, it is still less because Shri Rama is Bharata. There is no Bharata Varsha, there is no Bharatiya Samskriti without Shri Rama. No doubt that he is God and he is worshipped by the Hindus as God, as the incarnation of Bhagavan Shri Vishnu. There is no doubt about it. In Ramayana itself, it is very clear that Bhagavan Shri Vishnu only took avatar as Shri Rama, lived as human being, didn't do fancy stuff so that people will understand that I am God. He lived in a very, very controlled way, but is worshipped as God. But more than just a Hindu God, he was an icon for entire Bharata. No matter you belong to which religion, no matter you belong to which caste of Hindu religion, Shri Rama is an ideal. We say also, no, Purusho mein the Purushottam, Manujo mein Mahamanav, Raghuvamsha ke Kuladipaka, tha nama unka Raghav. That is Shri Rama. Purusho mein the Purushottam. Among all the human beings, he was the best human being. Purushottama, as we know, is Uttama Purusha. He is the name of Paramatma also. But even among human beings, he was the best one. All our children grow up listening to the stories of Sri Rama and Sri Krishna. All of us have grown up listening to their stories. Isn't it? Sri Rama was a perfect human being. And that's how he lived. In this short time, we are not going to go through the entire life story of Sri Rama. You all know the life story and there will be many occasions when we will discuss about Ramayana also. But we will be touching on few aspects of Bhagavan's life. And we will understand how Bhagavan Sri Rama was a icon, youth icon of this nation called Bharata. Even before it was called Bharata, he was the icon of that land. First thing that comes to our mind when we say Sri Rama is, everybody will have different things in the mind, but what comes to my mind is Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Sri Rama is righteousness personified. In very interestingly, this phrase Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma, have you heard this phrase before? Yeah. This Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma, this phrase actually comes in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, and it is said by Maricha. It is said by one of his enemies. It is not said by Valmiki ji or Lakshmana or some rishi, etc. Maricha says, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Vigrahavan means what? Dharma has taken a form. Dharma has taken, righteousness has taken a physical form, and that is Sri Rama. Why? Why it is said like this? If we see Sri Rama's Charitra, if we see his life, he always upheld the Dharma. Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomayananji says very beautifully, he says Sri Rama did not just follow Dharma. There are many people who follow Dharma. He says he just didn't follow Dharma, but he raised and set the standard of Dharma. To such an extent that after lakhs and lakhs of years, today also our definition of Dharma is according to what Sri Rama did. Isn't it? Even today, when we want to compare somebody's governance, we compare the governance of Sri Rama. We say Rama Rajya, Raja Ram. If we want to praise some king, we say you are Sakshat Sri Rama. What are you doing? You are again taking Bhagwan Sri Rama as the benchmark. Bhagwan Sri Rama did not just follow Dharma, but he raised the very standard of Dharma. He set that standard so high that people all got inspired to live up to that standard. And even kings who came after Sri Rama, even in the same Vamsha, they also followed what Bhagwan Sri Rama has said. We will see innumerable examples in his life story. One simple thing is when he was supposed to go to forest. We all know Vanvasa, 14 years of Vanvasa he was supposed to go. And different people were giving him different ideas how you can do it. Why? Because nobody wanted Sri Rama to go. So they were all trying to find out some loopholes in the law. That's what we also do, no? Law is there, then we try to find loopholes. Everybody was trying to do that. Dashrath Maharaj himself said, it is on me that I have given my word to Kaikeyi and therefore I have to follow. It is not necessary for you to listen to me. You disobey me. I am ordering you to go to forest. You say you are a Kshatriya. You don't want to go. Over, topic close. Lakshmana says, let us do one thing. Kaikeyi wants Bharata to become the king. No, we will stop Bharata only from becoming king. Then nobody will be there as rival to you. Everybody was giving him different ideas of how to avoid going to forest. Even Rishi Vasishta, who is Rajaguru of Raghuvamsha, who lives by Dharma, who tells what is Dharma to the king, he said, you know what Sri Rama you should do? You should go to forest, stay there for 14 days and come back. Why? He says, because without you, for us, 1 day is like 1 year. So you have gone for 14 days, we will feel that we have lived 14 years without you, you come back. So everything is followed according to Dharma. Every single person tried to do that. Even after Bharata came back, even after Bharata went and, begged Bhagwan Sri Rama, he also said, why are you doing? Come back. You kill me. I am ready to die also. You become the king. But Bhagwan stood by the ideal. And he said, no. If my father has given word, I must follow. Later on it comes that even Kaikeyi feels sorry. Later on when they go to meet Bhagwan in the forest, when Bharata comes, etc., even she feels sorry because now the husband is dead, etc., whatever has happened. Bhagwan says, no. Raghukula Reet Sada Chali Aayi, Pran Jaye Par Vachana Na Jaye. Very famous couplet, isn't it? That it's been the lineage, it's been our tradition. What? Even if we give up our life, but we will not come back on our words. Words once given will be followed. And this you will see in so many occasions in the Charitra of Sri Rama. That not just he followed Dharma. See, everybody who was telling him was everything according to Dharma only. According to Kshatriya Dharma, he can decide not to follow his father and say that, no, I am a Kshatriya, I want to become king. Kshatriyas are allowed to do that. What Lakshmana was telling was also Dharma. What Vasishta Rishi was telling was also Dharma. But Bhagwan did not budge. He did not just do that. He raised the standard, you see. Hey, sometimes we don't understand the implication of this. Imagine somebody makes you king one day and next day tells you, no, you are not going to become king. Forget about becoming king. You can't even live in the palace. Forget about the palace. You can't even live in the kingdom. Forget about the kingdom. You can't even live in the city or in the nation. You have to go out, stay in forest and stay like a recluse. We will go mad. We will resist. We will protest. We will fight. Bhagavan accepted as though there is nothing and went to forest. Ideal human being. In Taittiriya Upanishad, while explaining something else, the Upanishad gives a definition of who is an ideal person or ideal youngster. It says, Yuva syat sadhu yuva adhyayakah ashishto dridhishto balishthah tasyeyam prithvi sarva vittasya purna syat. In the section of Ananda Mimamsa, where the comparison of happiness experienced by people is going on in Taittiriya Upanishad, the topic is something different, but prelude to that topic is this definition. He says, who is an ideal youth? We see Sri Rama lived his life as a youngster, the life that we know. After he came back and he was made the king, he lived for 1,000 years. We don't know anything that happened after that. The story that we know is of his young days only. Isn't it? We only know the story till he came back and Pattabhisheka happened, he became the king. That much only we know. That was his prime youth. So as a youngster, how a youngster should be? Upanishad has said, Yuva syat sadhu yuva, first quality. That young person should be sadhu. Vedji, should be sadhu means he should become brahmachari and swami. No. Sadhu means noble person. A good human being. Nobility of heart, nobility of intentions should be there. And there are qualities, good qualities and noble qualities which are mentioned. Obedience, for example. For a youngster, obedience is very, very necessary. Nowadays, obedience is, we don't even know what do you mean by obedience. Why? Everybody is free to do whatever they want. Remember, we belong to the nation called Bharata, where obedience was considered the highest virtue. It was out of obedience that Bhagavan Sri Rama went to forest. It is father's words, that is it, that is sufficient. It was because of obedience that Parshurama was ready to do whatever the mother was telling, whatever the father was telling. It is the obedience either given by the elders, either given by the guru or by parents, which people followed. Obedience is one of the main qualities that a youngster should have. And when I say youngsters, all of us are young only. Till the time we don't die, we are young only. So one of the important qualities that we all must follow is obedience. And Bhagavan Sri Rama portrayed it, not just shown it, he portrayed it throughout. Obedience. Second quality, patience. See, I am trying to show some qualities which nowadays for youngsters are considered to be what? Patience. What patience? You should be impatient. They nowadays they take classes, etc. to make youngsters more and more passionate, etc. No, compassion is there, but passion they put a lot. And then they say you must be impatient till the time success is achieved. No, patience is a good quality. Patience is a virtue. You do your thing and be patient. Allow the things to unravel by itself. Even when the other people are doing something wrong, be patient. Correct time will come. You do at that time. Have patience. Obedience, patience, helpfulness. Thinking about other people before you think about yourself. Very important quality as a youngster. And we see that Bhagavan Sri Rama doing it throughout. At young age of 11, he went with Vishwamitra Rishi to help, isn't it? Young boy. He and Lakshmana both were young boys. He went to help the rishis to complete their yajna. Even in the forest, you will see that he helps so many people there around. They are going through so much of trouble. Bhagavan solves everyone's problems. Helpfulness. He helps Sugriva to get back his kingdom. He helps Vibhishana. So many places we will see Bhagavan Sri Rama was sadhu. Sadhu means noble person. You can't even call Bhagavan Sri Rama as noble because nobility starts from him. See, today in the session when I am analyzing, please understand that I am keeping devotee in me aside and analyzing the life of Sri Rama as a human being. It's tough to do that, but we will have to do it. Why? Because he is not just God, but he is an ideal human being also. Sometimes what we do know, when something is too far from us, difficult for us to achieve, we will immediately say, Bhagavan was Bhagavan, therefore he did, I can't do that. That is, we should not have this kind of thought. Therefore I am showing how as a human being, Bhagavan was perfect. As a young man, how he was perfect. Yuva syat sadhu yuva. Second point, adhyayakaha. Adhyayakaha means educated, learned person. A young person should always invest time in learning. We see Bhagavan's love for learning. So sometimes we must read these passages of Valmiki Ramayana to actually understand how all these things happened. When Shri Rama and Lakshmana are going with Vishwamitra Rishi, on the way, there are so many occasions where Vishwamitra Rishi is teaching Shri Rama something, and then Shri Rama is teaching that thing to Lakshmana. This all the Vidyas, etc., the Kshatriya should know, and Raj Vidyas, and so many such things. And such beautiful explanation is there how Shri Rama and Lakshmana are living with Vishwamitra Rishi, that they get up and then they do all the things. And you see, very interesting. As young boys, when you go to Guru also, first few days Guru is taking care of you because you don't even know what to do. You may say you must serve the Guru, but you don't know what do you mean by serving Guru. So you will see that when Vishwamitra Rishi is taking both of them, first morning when they sleep, Vishwamitra Rishi gets up before them. And then he is waking both of them up. That is the famous shloka is there, no? Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narashardula Kartavyam Daiva Mannikam. That's actually from Ramayana. That comes when Vishwamitra Rishi is waking Bhagavan Sri Rama. But then he immediately understands that I am his student. So next day onwards you will see he has gotten up before Vishwamitra Rishi and ready to serve Vishwamitra Rishi in any way possible. And because Sri Rama is getting up before Vishwamitra Rishi, Lakshmana gets up even before Sri Rama. Because he is Sri Rama's servant. Adhyayakaha. Educated is not just in a subject. But education, learning has to happen of life. And that's why our old system of Gurukula did not just give the subject knowledge, but taught a way of life. And you see that Bhagavan Sri Rama doing it. Even later on when Vasishtha Rishi is teaching, even when Bhagavan is going to Gurukula, etc. Bhagavan has gone through all these things, okay? We don't read those parts of his life because those are not, interesting masala parts. We like masala stuff, no? So we only pick up scenes which are, dramatic scenes. But actually Bhagavan Sri Rama has gone through all the Gurukula also, and he has gone and studied very, very interesting occasions are there. He comes back from Gurukula and he studied spirituality. Young boy studied spirituality, has understood that, goal of human life is moksha, liberation. Suddenly he goes in a tangent and says that if moksha is the goal, why are you telling me to act? Same thing what Arjuna did. But Arjuna happened because of some different reason. Here, out of his own understanding and knowledge, Bhagavan Sri Rama thought that now the goal of life is liberation. So I will, lock myself in a room and I will come out only when I am liberated. I don't want to become prince of the land or the king of the land. Nothing I want to be. And Vasishtha Rishi comes there and gives Upadesha to Sri Rama. That's the famous text called Yoga Vasishtha. If 24,000 shlokas is Ramayana, there are 24,000 shlokas of teachings of Yoga Vasishtha, that is Vasishtha Rishi's Upadesha to Sri Rama. All the topics of Vedanta are covered there. Again explaining to Sri Rama what exactly is spirituality and how you can practice it even while doing your duty as a king or as a husband or as a wife or whatever may be your duty. Beautiful learning. Bhagavan Sri Rama could do so many things because he had such a firm foundation in learning. So, sadhu yuva adhyayakaha. Ashishtaha. Third point is ashishtaha. Ashishtaha means what? One who has got inspiring goal, or what we can say as noble aspirations are there and grand vision is there of life. Such a person is called as ashishtaha. And that we will see Bhagavan Sri Rama doing even as a prince. Some small stories are there. Even as a prince, even when he was a prince, he has not yet become king. I don't know how many of you have known this. When Bhagavan Sri Rama and Lakshmana goes with Vishwamitra Rishi to protect that yajna, then goes to Mithila Nagari, gets married to Sita ji, and Lakshmana and other two brothers also, all of them are married, come back to Ayodhya. They stay there for 12 years. And after that the whole episode happens. Generally we skip these 12 years. We think that he gets married, he comes to Ayodhya and then immediately Kaikeyi does like this. No, there are 12 years that they all have lived in Ayodhya, where Bhagavan Sri Rama is the prince and crowned prince, and then the whole, he is going and talking to the Ayodhya Vasis and understanding their problems and giving what should be done, etc. See, looking at his vision only, Dashrath Maharaj thinks that now it is time for me to retire. Now my boys are no more young, they have got right vision how to take this nation, this country forward, and therefore he decides to make Sri Rama as the king. Okay, so grand vision, not just for himself but for the entire nation. Ashishtaha. Dridhishtaha. Fourth quality. What is Dridhishta? Dridhishta means determined. Once something is decided, it is decided. It will not move. Dridhishta. We see this again in Sri Ramachandra's life so many places. But one place that you see is when Sita ji is kidnapped and all the Vanar Sena is there. Hanuman ji has found Sita ji. They have come to the shore, seashore, and on the other side is Lanka, where Ravana has kept Sita ji. And Bhagavan Sri Rama is praying to the Samudra, ocean. Okay, why? So that give us the way to cross. And it is such a wonderful scene again, where he, as a human being, he is God only actually, but he doesn't want to show his powers, no. So he, as a human being, he is doing all the things that are required. He is sitting there and he is doing his anusthana, etc. 3 days he does, supposed to do. He does all those things, all the rituals that are required for propitiating ocean, Samudra Devata, etc. And he goes to determine that I need to do. But the moment he sees that even after doing all these things, because the story says that the ocean also got little bit of ego, feeling of pride came. Why? The Lord of the world, Lord of all the worlds is praying to me. Imagine. Power is a very, very dangerous thing. How it will trouble us, how it will catch us, we don't know. So suddenly this Samudra Devata starts to feel that the Lord of the universe is here praying to me. Let him pray for some more time. Let me keep him waiting. But the moment Bhagavan understands that this is out of ego, as Lord of the universe, he is also Lord of Samudra, and it is his job to teach him properly, and do whatever is required. So you have that famous picture of Sri Rama also, no? He is entering into the ocean with so much of anger. I think only 1 or 2 places you will see in Ramayana where Bhagavan has shown his anger, his Raudra Rupa. It should be shown whenever necessary. And he is going in the ocean as though he is going to finish off the ocean. And that is when the ocean, Samudra Devata comes and says, sorry, I forgot who are you. Sorry, I will give you way. Whatever stones you will put with your name will float on this. Dridishtaha, determined. In whichever way required. First go by proper way. If it is not happening, sometimes you will have to make the crooked finger, do the crooked finger and then remove the ghee. There is no problem. But anyways, Bhagavan Sri Rama is Vishnu's avatar only, no? Vishnu Bhagavan is known for his crooked finger. He never does anything straight. Yeah, always he wants to do something with, some kind of trick will be there. Because Sri Krishna is Sakshat Vishnu only, his entire life is like that. He will nothing straight he will do. His blessings will not be straight, his curses will not be straight, nothing will be straight. But Sri Rama, because living as an ideal human being, lived by that standard. And therefore he went and he propitiated the Devata, etc. You have seen Sri Krishna's life also, never he did all those things. He stopped. He said no need of, praying to Indra. Before only he knew Indra has ego. Before only he knew. So he didn't go and do all those things. Directly you start worshipping Govardhana only. But Sri Rama did everything. And then when he understood it, even after that he is not doing, then I will have to show my power. It's very beautiful. In our even democracy, this is the way to do it. You go by the way of law. Try to change the things. If it is not happening, then protest. Then show your power as citizens of the nation. Not that you will start only by breaking the law. No. That's not the correct way in democracy. Bhagavan Sri Rama did the same. But determination. Once decided, it will happen. His name only could so much of determination that entire bridge was formed between two nations. Can you imagine? Today, with all our technology, etc., we form small bridges over seas and oceans and, sea links, etc., and we feel we are so proud and, what we have done. There, without anything, just with Bhagwan's name, the entire two nations were connected. Can you imagine that? Determination. Asishto dridhishtha. Fifth point is balishtaha. Balishtaha means strong. Now this is another misconception of Bhagavan Sri Rama, because you see his personality was so wonderful that whenever we imagine Sri Rama, we imagine as a soft person, nice, chubby cheeks will be there, and nice to look at. Neelambuja Shamala Komalangam, Sita Samaropita Vama. We imagine him as a but you don't know what a fierce warrior he was. You see, nowadays, on the social media, on YouTube and this Instagram and Facebook, etc., what they do is, they take all the mythological figures and, all the different kinds of Supermen and all these things. What do they call? The Iron Man and Hitman and so many such things are there, superheroes, and they put all of them according to power. Who was the strongest, then who, like that, and who then, you must have seen such videos. They rate them according to their strength. I tell you, if you start rating them according to their strength and skill, there will be nobody even close to Sri Rama. And that is where we must study Valmiki Ramayana to understand what kind of warrior Sri Rama was. In one place, when they are in Dandakaranya, and we know the story that Shurpanakha comes and wants to marry, and Bhagavan Sri Rama and Lakshmana, they send her away. She is not going, so Lakshmana cuts her nose and ears and, and sends her. She goes to her brothers Khara and Dushana and Trishiras. And all three of them, they come with army of 14,000 demons. 14,000 demons. And the explanation follows where it says that Sri Rama tells Lakshmana, you go to this cave, take Sita there and stay there. I will just come. Just give me some time, I will just come. And Lakshmana is there protecting Sita ji in that cave, and Sri Rama goes and kills 14,000 demons along with Khara, Dushana, Trishiras in 1 hour. In 1 hour. 1.5 muhurtas is what said in Valmiki Ramayana. One muhurta is 48 minutes. So 1.5 means 48 plus 24. It's almost 1 hour. In 1 hour, he kills 14,000 demons alone. Nobody is there to help him. He is not showing, but he is extremely powerful. He is Vishnu's avatar. What do you think? Extreme power. Balishtha, strong. Even Ravana, you see, Ravana was the most feared warrior. Everybody was afraid of him, including Indradi Devatas. Devatas, Danavas, Asuras, human beings, animals, everyone was afraid of Ravana. And Sri Rama killed Ravana for fun. It was a terrible battle. It was most amazing battle. Agreed. You see the explanation also. You are very sure that it was a terrible battle. But still, at no point it appeared as though Bhagavan Sri Rama is going to lose. That's the difference between Mahabharata war and Rama Ravana Yuddha. That's the difference. In Mahabharata war, when Bhishmacharya and Dronacharya are fighting, it looks like they will finish off the entire army in one day. It does not happen. That is a different thing, but it looks like that. Ravana also was so mighty, so strong, and had so many kinds of vidyas and so many kinds of skills. But one place, how much ever time I read Valmiki Ramayana, I get stuck there in that one place where Ravana is fighting with Shri Rama and Shri Rama stops the war. He says, wait, you are tired. You are not fighting properly. Please go, take rest. Come tomorrow, we will start the fight again. I am not joking. You go and read Valmiki Ramayana yourself. This situation comes. And you know what? Ravana agrees. Ravana goes, takes rest and comes next day, and Bhagavan Sri Rama kills Ravana next day. He says, I don't want to kill you when you are not at your best. Can you imagine how much power he must be having? And how much confidence on his own power? So anybody will say what? Now he is tired, now is the time, strike when the iron is hot. That is how we will say. He says, no, you go, you take rest. Come tomorrow with fresh strength. I will defeat you tomorrow. And he does it. Balishtha, strong. So yuva syat sadhu yuva, noble. Adhyayakaha, educated, learned. Ashishtaha, high vision, inspiring, noble vision. Dridhishtaha, determined. Balishtaha, strong. Physically, mentally strong. Even mental toughness is checked throughout the war. They do, because they are Mayavi Danavas, Asuras. They do so many things. They portray as though Sitaji is killed and Sitaji's head is brought there. They play so many things. They show that Lakshmana is killed. They show so many things. Bhagavan remains strong, physically, mentally, both, and keeps on fighting. Ashishto, Dridishto, Balishtha. The last point says, Tasyeyam Prithvi Sarva Vittasya Purna Syat. A young person should be such that he should be able to generate resources and money from the entire earth, from any part of the earth. Iyam Prithvi Sarva Vittasya Purna Syat. The entire earth should become filled with money. That is how a youngster should be. A resourceful person, street smart person. Anywhere I look into, I can generate money from there. Capability is there. Money is not just, should not be taken as wealth for oneself. No, as a king, he has to generate wealth for the entire nation. Yes or no? Poverty today, what our Prime Minister and President and all of them are fighting for what? To make our nation self-sufficient. Why economic growth is necessary? So that everybody in India will be helped. So money not for oneself, but even for everyone. But he should be resourceful. Sarva prithvi vittasya purna syat. And we don't even have to say Sri Rama was like that. Anywhere he went, he generated resources. They always say there are three kinds of resources. 3 MPs. I had heard this from Swami Purushottomananji. 3 MPs. MPs is not member of parliament. MPs, 3 MPs. What? Says, first is money power. Money power. Second is manpower. And third is management power. He says, if you have these 3 resources, you will be successful in any endeavor that you have. You want to start a business, you should have these 3 things. You should have raw material and money to start. You should have manpower, and you should know how to manage that manpower and that money. 3 things. 3 MPs. Bhagavan Sri Rama could generate all these 3 anywhere. Imagine he went alone to the forest. Sitaji and Lakshmana followed. And when Sitaji was kidnapped, he and Lakshmana, only 2 of them were there. He could generate entire army. He didn't say that let us go back to Ayodhya, let us take help from Bharata and get the army of Ayodhya's army was very powerful. It was one of the best. Dashrath Maharaj used to go and help to Indra only. You imagine? He didn't do that. He said that will take a lot of time. I will generate the army here itself. Manpower he could generate, money power he could generate, management power. If you see the strategies that are made, when they go to Lanka, how Lanka should be attacked, from which angle, who should be the leader, how many monkeys should be there in that troop. All the description is there in Valmiki Ramayana. There are 4 gates, they say. There are 4 gates to the city of Lanka, the eastern, the western, the southern and the northern. And from which gate who is attacking, who is the main, if that person, that monkey falls, who will become the next main. Everything is all managed. And you will see even occasions where one side is victorious, but other side is losing. So immediately people are brought from there to here to help. When Kumbhakarna comes, suddenly Hanumanji is brought from some other place to here. Why? To face. Why? So that he will, keep Kumbhakarna busy till the time Sri Rama and Lakshmana come there. See, all these things we see. Management power. A resourceful person. Bhagavan Sri Rama had all these things. He was an ideal son, an ideal brother, an ideal husband, an ideal king, and an ideal human being. Isn't it? Putra, Bharata, Bharata, Raja, Manusha. He was ideal in every single thing. If only we can follow the standards that Bhagavan Sri Rama has set for us, we all will become great Bharatiyas. And Bharat will once again get all the glory that it truly deserves. It's not a utopian dream. It's not a utopian dream. It's not just imaginary thing. It is possible. May by Bhagavan Sri Rama's grace, this Bharata once again become Rama Rajya. You will see in Valmiki Ramayana itself, some occasions where Bhagavan's governance comes, what kind of king he was. One interesting chapter is there called Kachit Sarga. This is actually happening when Bharata comes to meet Sri Rama, when Sri Rama is in forest. First time Bharata is meeting Sri Rama, and before Bharata could say anything to Sri Rama is asking lots of questions to Bharata, asking about how is the kingdom. Are you doing this? You are the king. Are you paying attention to this? Are you paying attention to what the spies are telling you? Are you paying attention that all the people who are on the righteous path are protected? Are you making sure that criminals are being punished? Are you making sure that women and children are safe? He goes on asking, kachit, kachit, kachit. Is it like this? Is it like this? Is it like this? He goes on asking. That chapter itself becomes an entire subject for today's politicians. Why? What should we do? All is mentioned there, because through the questions, he is actually telling what should happen. May by his grace, the best king that ever ruled on this earth, our Bharat also may once again become Rama Rajya. See, Rama Rajya will become Rama Rajya not when Rama becomes Raja. Rama Rajya becomes Rama Rajya when Rama becomes Praja. When Praja becomes Sri Rama, that is when Rama Rajya comes. Don't expect that some great leader is going to come and rule. No, we have to change ourselves. Then the leader will change. If any great thing has to happen, we have to change. I started the whole thing by saying we are very lucky. Remember? We are not just lucky that we are born in Bharata, but we are also lucky that we are born in such era that we are again seeing the uprise of the Bharata. Today you see the kind of enthusiasm and love, inspiration that is again coming out in the youngsters especially of Bharata for this great monument that is coming up. Shri Rama Janmabhoomi, which is happening in Ayodhya, the temple is being built, and the Pratishtha, I can't even say Pratishtha because it is Punaf Pratishtha of Shri Rama which is going to happen. This has got a great history, and the history is never, is not always nice history. History always has patches which are difficult, isn't it? This also place has got that. So many generations have sacrificed their life, and therefore our generation is able to see what is happening in Ayodhya. For 500 years people have fought. We remember all of them. We remember all their sacrifices. Once to Pujya Gurudev, who was one of the main leaders of this Rama Janmabhoomi when the original, the movement started, once he was asked that, so many people are dying, for Rama Janmabhoomi, what you have to say? He says, in any noble endeavor, sacrifices are necessary. And there are so many people, so many generations who have sacrificed their life to make this temple once again. We salute, we prostrate to all those people. Please understand, it is not a fight between Hindu and Muslims, because even for Muslims, Sri Rama is an ideal. It is a fight created by certain politicians for their own benefit. We should not get into all these things. We should remember what is the purpose, why it is necessary. Sometimes as Hindus, we also get into this thought, why are we fighting? If there is Babri Masjid, let it be there. What do you mean let it be there? It's a monument of inspiration for all of us. Today you will see when the temple comes up, when you go there, you feel inspired by Sri Rama's life. You will put his life in your life. Monuments are necessary because they can bring inspiration. Especially the monuments which have got association with such a great personality. As Hindus, as Bharatiyas, as Indians, we should be proud that this monument is coming up again. Please don't be fooled by what is going around. This is a great, momentous occasion for all of us. And as I said, it has come because of the fight and sacrifice of so many people. Not just those people who have given up their life, but even those people who are today, who have fought for it, who are there even today. Salutations to all of them. May Bhagavan Shri Rama's grace be on all. We remember Bhagavan Shri Rama not just as God. Yes, of course, he is God. He is our Aradhya Devata. Yes, he is. He is our Ishta Devata. Yes, he is. But not just as God, but he is an ideal human being. He is an ideal king. He is an ideal son, ideal brother, ideal husband. That is how we should remember Bhagavan Shri Rama, and we should emulate the qualities that he possessed. That will be the greatest devotion unto him. May we take inspiration from his life, from him, and may we live to become Sri Rama. Invoking the grace and blessings of Bhagavan on all. Thank you for joining. Let us conclude. We'll conclude with small prayer to Sri Rama, and then we will conclude. Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Om. 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 Jaya Jaya Rama Om. Jaya Jaya Rama Om. सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. उमापति महादेव की जय. बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.